for a new truck for your business? Look no farther. Come on down to AJ Doman Chevrolet, where we got $12,000 off every remaining 23 medium duty in stock. And more trucks arriving daily. It's all happening at AJ Doman Chevrolet, where we say yes when others say no. AJ Doman Chevrolet, your business elite dealer at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge in Berwick.
And welcome back. We're going to talk a little weather today here in the area because we have rain all over the place. And we have Mr. Noah Lee-Red, who is joining us today. There you see him. Chief Administrative Officer of Terrebonne Parish and Parish Manager. Noah, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Martin.
We're normally talking about other things in the parish and good explosive things for the economy or events, but today we're going to talk a little weather. How about that?
Some explosive weather, huh?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to the map if we can, just to show you what's out there, because, I mean, folks, if we knew this had a low chance of developing, but if we didn't know it, we'd think we have a hurricane out there. Look at the amount of rain that it's going to dump on this area in the next couple of days is certainly impressive as far as rain. However, they give it a low chance of developing, still very low levels. So we do have a high coming. Depends on when that high gets here, which depends on this low pressure system. But this is certainly a lot of rain, Noah, that's going to be dumping on Terrebonne Parish. If you could, sort of bring us through the plan at this point. I know pump stations and reservoirs and all kind of different things that you see on a daily basis in Terrebonne. Give us a little update on that if you could.
Sure. So whenever we have something like this in our forecast, the key is to get ahead of it. All right. So we operated a system-wide pump down Tuesday at 10 a.m. to get the full amount of reservoir we can get in our force drainage system, and we've been activating our pumps. They've been running ever since. So we have over 30 pumps. So I'm sorry, over 100 pumps in our force drainage system. They're all running. They're all operational. And they've been running since Tuesday when the weather wasn't so bad. All right, so the idea, what you have to do is get ahead of this, because what we can do is we can take on 2 inches of rain in an hour with our force drainage system. When it gets above that to 3 to 5, that's when things get a little squirrely and the water can start ponding, and it'll take a little bit longer to dissipate. But the key is to get ahead of it.
You know, just like with the electrical grids, and I know y'all still working on things that even Ida caused havoc on. But I'm sure with the pump system too, there's still some damage to pipes and different things, or hangers on pipes that Ida caused. So it's pretty much, we still catching up from Ida, aren't we?
Absolutely. I mean, pumps are an ongoing maintenance. And when you have over 100 of them, you're constantly working on them. So part of that maintenance is still repairs from Ida, and we have those that are ongoing every day. We have a new pump station being built at Bayou too, which is coming online in January-ish of 2025. So that's going to be another great addition to our force drainage system.
What are some of the things that, I don't want to use the word worry, we're in a rainstorm, but there's a lot of rain. There's a lot of people out there that get a little weary of rain. If, like you said, if you get 2 or 3 inches at a time and it subsides, got time to pump. If you get 6 to 7, does that concern you a little bit?
You know, it's concerning. It's something we can't handle, right? Well, we have crews on 24/7 standby right now. They're constantly going up and down the streets, making sure catch basins are clean, that we have as few restrictions as we could possibly have in our gravity drainage system. So yeah, it creates a little more burden, a little more worry, but it's nothing that we can't handle. It's nothing that we're not ready to work on. Right.
Yeah. And I know, of course, our sister cities, Lafourche and other areas. Jason, if we could pull up maybe the Grand Isle camera too, because it's just a blanket of rain all over the entire area. So while you're trying to do that, maybe we could go back to the map which shows, oh, there we go, Grand Isle. It's just one of those gloomy, rainy days. And you could sense when you're driving around this morning that it's just one of those blanket kind of rains that you're not going to get a whole lot of break in the next couple of days. And I know people even looking forward to Friday night football, but I'm not so sure that we're going to have any games without rain, and I'm sort of curious as to if they'd move those games to Saturday or whatever, but we're going to see a lot of rain. Now, I guess our hope here is that we don't see the 10 inches that we could see. With a little luck, maybe.
Right. I mean, look, we're forecasting. I just talked with Earl Hughes, our emergency preparedness director, who's, a critical person in these type of events, and he told me we're expecting 6 to 8. You said you saw possibly 10. The key is that rainfall is intermittent, right? Yeah. We don't want it all at one time. If it's spaced out, like right now, it's not raining too hard. We had a pretty good downpour yesterday. I think we got 4 or 5 inches in about an hour yesterday. So we can avoid those type of situations. It's going to make it a lot easier on us. But like I said, we have our crews out there. We could possibly experience some ponding, but it will dissipate, within an hour or two's time once we get it rolling.
Just real quick, people should be out right now sort of taking care of their catch basins and all, right?
Well, yes. I mean, if it, on their personal property, right? Yeah. But what we're doing is we're constantly going through our catch basins, making sure we don't see any obstructions, any restrictions. That's something that they're out doing right now. We'll continue to do, not only during rain events, but just everyday operations. Yeah,
this is one of those. I'm a little concerned about the saturation of water if another one develops. But right now, the tropics look like, as we're looking at the map of the saturation areas, which are all around the area, I can't even depict. There's some of these are 13-inch predictions, so they're upgrading as we speak. Sure. But keep our fingers crossed and hope we're not in the training or the 13 inches. 3 or 4 you said you could handle.
All we can do is be on top of it and be ready. And like I said, we're ready. We started our pump down last week. In fact, we started our pump down last weekend ahead of some of our other systems and like the Chatcahoola, just in preparation. Yeah. And as long as we get that good jump on it like we did, and we have our crews out there 24/7, we can handle it.
We're going to talk a little bit about rain in specific areas here in the Houma area, and I know y'all. I mean, we've heard since I've been on the news desk 40 years. There's problematic areas in the parish that have always been problematic, but yesterday's rain, and the reason I'm bringing up yesterday because it might be today's rain as well. Mm-hmm. What are some of the areas that concern you the most, and what are y'all doing in those areas?
So we have a lot of places in town that have really old infrastructure. We're talking about old neighborhoods like Broadmoor, Oakshire, those type of areas that just have old pipes that need a little bit more maintenance, a little more upkeep. That was an area that we experienced some ponding. We had some reports of that from our councilman, CJ Wazam. Mm-hmm. And he said that on Funderburk Road, we had like a little bit of ponding over there. So we went out there, looked at it. Try to identify any restrictions we can eliminate. But again, it's just a matter of making sure that our pumps are online, they're running, and that we're letting that water get to those pumps as fast as possible. That goes back to just eliminating any type of restrictions we can find. And sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it takes a little bit of water to identify them, right? So that's what we're doing yesterday. So the silver lining is sometimes when we have this heavy rain, as long as it doesn't cause any property damage or any serious issues, it allows us to identify some points where maybe we couldn't see the restriction, but now we can address it. So that's what we did yesterday in a lot of old neighborhoods, and just in general in the parish.
Yeah, I remember when Teddy Dewey was parish president, we had those May rains. I think they were 15 inches, caused a lot of problems. Got a lot of infrastructure in place since then. I don't want to alarm people, but also when people see a lot of water building up, naturally they get concerned. But as long as it's not in their house, it's going to take a little time to drain, right? So if you've seen the reservoirs fill up by Lowe's and all those areas, right, you're probably going to see that in the next 2 days.
Right. Look, you're going to see some water in the ditches, right? That's what ditches are for. I know we like to keep those dry as we can, but retention ponds, ditches, the purpose of those is to create capacity, right? And that's what we try to do and try to maintain to the fullest, right? If we can pump down ahead of a storm, we have more capacity and more place for that water to go. And that's the key.
How much do y'all put in? People can be a good reporter, but you sometimes they call the station and they go, more in St. Louis canals backing up, or Broadmoor, like you said, they'll call different people in different areas, or Gibson, How much do y'all rely on that to sort of be your eyes sometimes?
A lot. We pride ourselves on information, getting information. We don't need to hear it from somebody specific. We get a report, we're going to look into it, and I take a lot of pride in that. I know our public works director Dave Rome takes a lot of pride in that too.
Yeah, he does a good job.
So yeah, if you have a report, if you see something, say something. That's a big thing with us. So please feel free to call in if you see some sort of issue that might be happening or you think may happen. We'll go take a look at it.
All right. So we're going to keep everybody posted on the rain. Maybe a little update. I know y'all been parking and trying to, been improvising on parking, but it looks like y'all working out a plan. But bring us up to speed on that maybe a little bit.
Parking garage?
Yeah.
So that's a 50-year-old parking garage that's been needing a structural assessment for a good while now. So we're still going through that and determining what's needed to make sure that thing's safe. And the primary concern in anything, whether it be weather, whether it be parking, is safety for our citizens and our employees. So we decided to go ahead and close it off while we're doing that structural assessment and allow our employees to park just around the tower and around downtown. And so far, it's working out fine. We haven't got the complete final assessment yet on the parking garage, but when we do, we'll develop a plan to address it.
Yeah. And how long does it take normally to do that? You got to get a structural engineer, and I guess they got to look at the whole thing, right?
Got to look at the whole thing, right? And after we look at it, we got to, we have to sit down, we have to assess it, we got to determine, what's our path forward, right? So it's a process that you don't want to rush. There's funding involved in whatever you want to do with that, right? So you got to determine what's the most cost-effective, safest thing we can do to utilize that infrastructure.
You just said it was nearly 50 years old?
I think of 45 to 50.
You making me, I remember when they were built, and you're making me feel old now.
I didn't mean to date you on that.
No, but I mean, but like anything else, infrastructure, pumps, everything else, a lot of time, things need maintenance. They're going to break.
Maintenance is critical, Martin.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of maintenance. I think building new things is great, but if we don't take care of them, we don't maintain them, and we don't stay ahead of things like that, it's going to cause a problem, right? So that's something that ever since January we've took a really hard look at is how can we maintain things better? How can we make sure that we have the adequate resources to take care of the things that we already have, right? It's critical.
All right. Let's do this, Jason, as we wrap up with Noah Lee Rett. We appreciate you coming, for sure. Let's bring up the maps again just to let people be on a close guard and a close watch. And let's bring up that weather map again just to let you know that blob of water that you're experiencing today as you drive around here in the parish. Well, certainly you're going to see that for the next couple of days. And I remember when everybody thought they were going to wake up Saturday to sunshine. Well, you're not going to wake up to sunshine. It's just things going to take a while to dissipate. But hopefully as the afternoon goes on Saturday, and then, of course, on Sunday, a lot of people tailgating out there for New Orleans, you'll probably have a much better day on Sunday. But Saturday is going to be a rainy day also. So once again, stay vigilant on that. We appreciate the Chief Administrative Officer, Noah Lee Rett, joining us today here on Bayou Time. And as anything changes or develops, we'll be on the desk to bring it to you. We thank you for watching. And if you see anything, call us, call the government. We'll try to get people out there. We'll help the government as much as we can. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you again around the corner.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.